Ooh-wee. Now, Canelo Alvarez, payday, you'll want payday. I know that he hasn't been knocked out, let alone knocked down in almost 70 fights. Yet Team Crawford, Bomac's crystal ball is back, and this time he sees a shocking outcome. Canelo Alvarez getting knocked out by Terence Crawford. The boxing world is buzzing. Will Crawford take down the Mexican superstar? I mean, what type of strategy is he going to use? Would this be considered the upset of the year if that happens? So Bomac gave his prediction that would have his fighter beating Canelo, leading to Canelo's downfall, which would be catastrophic. You know, Canelo, again, almost 70 fights. He would be losing to a smaller fighter. So in this video, that's what I really want to break down. Can Crawford really do this and pull off this impossible feat? Canelo got a granite chin. Hand Canelo's first loss since Bevel, who's bigger. You know, basically tune in. Let's get unpacked and we'll see what Team Crawford's crystal ball sees and what they got in store for this September showdown. Let's get unpacked. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. I've been in this game for years. It made me an animal. There's rules to this. I wrote y'all a manual. Let's get unpacked. Now, Team Crawford, they're at it again. Confident. That seems to always kind of go with the team. And they're promoting this upcoming fight. A brand new interview with Boxing King Media. The link will be in the description. Check out their full entire interview. But Bomac said some interesting things. And I will get my trusty headphones ready because I want y'all to hear it. It's so much better coming to Boxing Ego because a lot of content creators, they talk. They say this person said this or did this, but right over here, Boxing Ego, I have the technology for you guys. So I show you the receipts. It's not just about my opinion and me telling you. I like you guys to hear from the horse's mouth. A lot of content creators don't do that. That's why there's a lot of clickbait. A lot of people say this and this happened, but you never get to see it. So Bomac actually said this.
Crawford, the box on the outside. Heard what Turkey said. He wants people to trade.
Listen, man, we just gonna get out there and win. Do whatever we need to do to win. You know, I ain't gonna give out the game plan or nothing like that, but what everybody think is just, I know we gonna win. You know what? It's going to be a good fight, tough fight. In the first couple rounds, Terence going to figure it out. And we probably stop him in the late rounds. We probably stop him.
Everyone's expecting Crawford to box on the outside. Heard what Turkey said. He wants people to trade.
Listen, man, we just going to get out there and win. Do whatever we need to do to win. You know, I ain't going to give out the game plan or nothing like that. But what everybody think is just, I know we going to win. You know what? It's going to be a good fight, tough fight. In the first couple rounds, Terence going to figure it out. And we probably stop him in the late rounds. We probably stop him.
We'll probably stop him in the late rounds. We'll probably stop him. That's what Bomac said. Now, I couldn't wait to get unpacked. I couldn't wait to get unpacked, bro. Let's really unpack this. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, Canelo has damn near 70 fights, right? This is not my opinion. These are the facts. And like I said earlier, a lot of content creators, they don't show you, but your boy Ego, I'm gonna show you, man. Look, there's Canelo's box rec. 39 knockouts. He has almost as many knockouts as Crawford has fights. These are the facts. Right? 67 bouts total. That's very close to 70. Like I said to start this video. So that being said, Canelo hasn't been knocked out in pretty much 70 fights. First of all, no one in this new generation, except for like really fighters from Mexico, like Zurdo Ramirez or something, no one really new fighters achieve and get to this many fights in their career. Floyd Mayweather got 50, Canelo got 70. Now, don't try to school me on boxing. I'm the teacher. I understand the quality of opposition Floyd fought, far different than a lot of those earlier names in Canelo's career. But still, beating 70 people since age 15, that's still an accomplishment. Julio Cesar Chavez, similar thing. He went like mad fights, 80 fights or whatever before he took a first loss. So some guys get knocked out, beat in their first fight, their pro debut. So it's still an accomplishment because Canelo was very young, fighting bigger men where he had to hold his own, right? So in almost 70 fights, as I mentioned before, Canelo has never seen the canvas, let alone get knocked out. Knocked out is obviously the extreme. He's knocked people out, but he's never been knocked out, right? And you can't knock it. Canelo has fought some big names. Floyd Mayweather, like I said before, Canelo, he was some easy work, hard work, dedication, right? Miguel Cotto. I am Miguel Cotto. My wife. Yeah, you believe, right? Miguel Cotto. Triple G. Hell no, guys. Hell, Max is big drama, guys. Is not right. He fought Beevil. Like, these are elite names that I'm saying to you. Shane Mosley. And he didn't get knocked out by none of these people at any point of his career. Crawford is going to move up almost 3 weight divisions, because I can't even say 2, because he only has 1 fight at 154, bro. Terence Crawford has 1 fight at 154, bro. These are the facts, right? So he's not even a seasoned 154 pounder. And now Team Crawford is saying, I think he's going to knock Canelo out. Listen, people, I feel like sometimes when people talk, let's say you're willing to believe them, right? You're willing to believe them. But then the more they talk, the less believable it becomes. That's what I feel here, right? That's what I truly feel. If Canelo is not like completely washed, he does a regular training and he doesn't come into this fight impaired or no funny business. It don't look like he took a dive or something. And it's boxing, so I gotta say that, right? If it looks like pretty much the standard Canelo, I feel like Crawford, if he were to beat Canelo, his best chance to achieve victory would be via decision. That's what I believe, right? But then on the flip side, there's a strong chance that Canelo could beat him and or knock him out, being the bigger person. So I understand I'm revealing Bomac's fight prediction and what he's saying, but I feel like the more you analyze and the more we listen, the less believable it sounds, because this is coming from Bomac, right? He's the trainer. He don't have to fight Canelo. Canelo and Crawford, they seem like they kind of respect each other's gangster a bit. But here's the thing. I haven't even heard the fighter say that he gonna knock out Canelo. In fact, I've heard the opposite. Crawford, in talking about this fight, has said he's not going to look for the knockout. He don't have to win by knockout. All he has to do is win more rounds. And, you know, there's been this big hoopla because Turkey came in and said he want no Tom and Jerry fights. He don't want the fighters running, and he wants them to put on the show. Fans get their money's worth, blah, blah, blah. Smaller rings. Canelo's like, yeah, put that in a smaller ring. Canelo's requesting the smaller ring. So right then and there, we already know who that favors. A smaller ring, no running. that would favor the bigger person. And I would say the same thing for Crawford. If Terence Crawford was at 47 and some cat was coming from 135 and then had to fight Crawford in a smaller ring and couldn't run and couldn't box, you know what I mean? Essentially, or there's pressure not to box and to make a fan-friendly fight, then of course that would favor the bigger person too, the bigger skilled person. And a lot of people got it twisted. They're like, oh, but Crawford has skills. Okay, so Canelo has no skill? Like, come on, bro. And that's why I'm the realest in boxing. I'm the best in the business, and it's really not even close. A lot of this boxing commentary that you're hearing is trash. Trash. You know it to be trash when a person can't even control their emotions. How is it not trash if you can't even control your emotions on a subject? I'm always in control of my emotion. I practice stoicism. And for me, this sounds like an emotional response from Crawford Bud Buddies and also Bomac that Canelo's going to get stopped. Again, could it happen? Oh, yeah, it's boxing. Anything could happen technically. But as a betting man, I mean, that would be, I really, this is not, I'm not trying to be funny. If Bud stopped Canelo at 168 with no rehydration clause, I truly believe it's going to lead to more questions than answers and more people believing it. If he stops Canelo, I think more people will be like making accusations. Man, he with the snack. He on drugs. Victor Conti. That's what's going to happen. I don't beat around the bush. I'm telling you, that is what is going to happen. If he stops this man, that Triple G had 3 fights, 36 rounds, and as big of a puncher, he got a great jab. Hello, guys. I don't know why I made Golovkin sound like that. Right? Golovkin always sounded like he got a sneeze. Anywho, Golovkin ain't stopped the man in 3 fights. Bud is going to travel up in one motion, one fell swoop, and move up 2-3 weight classes, depending on how you look at the one fight at 154, coming from lightweight initially in 140, and he gonna stop Canelo in the late rounds. Again, I promise you, if that happens, then people are gonna say this is fixed, this is rigged, and it might be all of them, Crawford's on something, because that really don't look right. Yes, Crawford's a great fighter. Yes, he got skills, but that's going to look bad and it's going to look bizarre. Because if you're cracking like that at 168, why you ain't want to fight David Benavidez? Crawford say, oh man, I might as well move to heavyweight. Right? Benavidez is going to weigh 200 pounds. Why don't you fight David Morrell? If you knocking out Canelo, who's definitely showed a granite chin in the 67 fights or whatever it was, right? You should just move to 68 if you cracking like that. Furthermore, why you ain't stopped Madrimov? Israel Madrimov had 11 fights and was a brand new champion. Why you ain't stopped him at 154? So again, the more people talk, the less I'm inclined to believe. And that's where people show their hands. Crawford's a good fighter. Like I said, I don't have a fight prediction, so don't let someone say, oh, Ego said this. And I haven't made an official fight prediction. I am leaning towards Canelo, but I don't know. That could change. But if I were to pick Bud, I wouldn't pick him by stoppage. I don't think that's a sensible play to pick him by stoppage. Again, if he does this, congrats to him, but that's going to come with something. People are going to be like, yo, you didn't stop Ray Beltran, right? You didn't stop Victor Postal, but now you can move to 168 and stop Canelo, who has never been stopped by bigger people, Triple G and Bivol and Kovalev, right? It's going to look extremely weird, right? So either you are saying this and you don't really believe it, or you believe it and you think it's doable. But again, if he executes on this, people are going to have definite questions about how that was achieved. I'm letting you know right now. Take it for what you want. You know what I mean? And some people like, oh, you're making excuses. I ain't made nothing. The fight ain't even happened, right? I'm just telling you how that's going to be perceived by the public. You like, and here's the thing. You stopped Errol Spence, who looked like a shell of himself, and he looked like he had weight issues or some type of issues, right? He looked compromised. Let's be real. He looked high before he even got hit with a punch, right? You stopped him, but he was still standing up. Like, you didn't stop him, and he just, like what Brian Norman did to Jin Sasaki, and he on the ground like for 5 minutes. You didn't stop Errol like that. So I don't see how Crawford is going to stop Canelo, right? Because you had a weakened, wounded Errol who Ben should have moved up to 54 and had other issues with the car crash. You didn't even really stop him. I mean, you stopped him, but you didn't stop him in terms of like he was still standing, complaining to the ref. It was a rightful stoppage. But what I'm saying is certain guys like Jin Sasaki, he was unconscious with memory loss. He can't protest to the ref because he got knocked out. There's TKOs and then there's knockouts. Crawford at best is a surgical, slippery, stealthy, great fighter, switch hitter, and he can pile up the points and accumulation mean machine you and get the TKO. But even that with Canelo, Bivol was doing that all day, touching Canelo. Like Omarion, touch, boom, 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 touch, doom, doom, doom. Something like you, right? He was touching him all day, pause, and he ain't even stop him. I don't see how Crawford get the stoppage. That's just being real with you. So either his team is woofing and they don't really believe that. Let me see what y'all saying on my page. Make sure you guys subscribe. Okay, Russell Westbrook, that can't be good. What? Right? Let me see what y'all talking about here. You sit on a throne of lies. Look, okay, so I knew I wasn't tripping. I ain't even look. This is a freestyle video. All my videos are freestyle. I make this look easy. I get paid the big bucks, and this is some easy work. I don't rehearse. I don't have no teleprompter and script. I don't have no team. It's me, Dolo. I make this look pretty, and I make the game look easy. Y'all let me get paid the big bucks off the easy work. This is unscripted. We just flowing through it. If you like this style of content, you know what it is. Subscribe to me. Hit the like, hit the bell icon. But, okay, that wink is funny. This is hilarious. This old lady winking. So, okay, I knew I wasn't tripping. Okay, bruh, this loss gonna be good for big back Bomac health. What? He gonna fall into depression and shed 200 pounds. Watch. And he's clean. See, I told you, people are already saying it. Like, bro, and the funny thing is this. People are like, oh man, you hating on Crawford. Let him stop Canelo. Canelo ain't fighting the person I want to see him fight. I don't care if he stop him. Stop him. He ain't fighting David Benavidez. But I'm just telling you how it's going to be perceived. Bud couldn't even finish Madrima. That's exactly what I said. See, look, he got Willem Dafoe. Bro, why you put that Willem Dafoe? This Willem Dafoe is hilarious. Green Goblin, shout out to Green Goblin. Bro, okay, I knew y'all was going in. Look, it got Crawford dancing. Yeah, we'll see if he dancing in there with Canelo at 168, no rehydration. Let's bet on it, Bomac. Hopefully they drug test Canelo team. Crawford gonna catch him in the late round. Bro, I really feel like a lot of y'all don't know boxing. I really, truly feel that. Crawford is a great talent, great fighter, right? No one's taking that away from him. But boxing, there's some ebb and flow. Crawford's going to be 38. Crawford is a killer, but he's a proven killer in certain divisions. He hasn't proven anything. He didn't even prove much at 54. He looked beatable to me. He looked like, here, tell me I'm lying. If Terence Bud Crawford did a gauntlet, answer this in the comments. if he did a Super 6 style tournament at age 37, 38, and Terence Crawford fought Virgil Ortiz, Murtazaev, Jaron Boots Ennis, Fundora, and Tim Tszyu, those 5 people, hand over heart, tell me that you think Bud would defeat all 5 of those people, all 5 of them, 5 muff, right? Not only defeat him, but he would look flawless like he did in 135 and 140. Like, meaning he's not getting rocked, he's not getting hurt. It's just domination. Because I don't see that. And that's at 54. You talking about 60, 60 plus, 68. Now we talking about something different. Ego Jones Jr. Didn't I just say that? Okay then. So, I don't know. Bomac is saying something that even the fighter, like they, on Piers Morgan, they asked Crawford, how sure are you that you're going to defeat Canelo Alvarez? He said 70%. When have you ever heard Crawford say something like, I'm 70% sure? Normally, Crawford, like when he was talking to Errol Spence, when Errol had that red hoodie in Oklahoma, he was like, I'm going to destroy you, then they're going to make an excuse. There was no like 70% feel. So I think Bud knows this weight class jump is going to be a doozy. And he's just like saying, like, he knows deep down. So I need to see how this fight plays out. But for me, the whole stopping Canelo didn't look good. And this is the other thing. You can't even have boxing discourse anymore without idiots in the comment section like, oh, man, why you love Canelo so much? Bro, my job is not based on love and hate. I give reads and assessments based on whoever it is. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Mexican, young or old, male or female, non-binary. I don't care about none of that. I care about boxing. So I give boxing dialogue and I give it from the heart and what I really believe. And for me, there's nothing that indicates that Canelo took shots from Jermell Charlo, Triple G, Kovalev, and everybody else that he's taking shots from. But Crawford is the man to, and then he's just knocked out. And it's not sleeping on Crawford. I know he's talented. He's a great finisher. But he's all these things in the divisions where he's proven it at. It's like you can be a great student 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Doesn't mean you're going to be valedictorian as a senior. It's a whole different curriculum, whole different grade, different teacher. You know what I mean? It's just different. So for me, show me. Because Crawford, when they're asking him about, hey, Turkey said smaller ring and don't run. He don't want fighters running. Crawford told you, I'm not going to allow somebody to tell me how to fight. So that doesn't sound confident like a person gunning for a late round knockout. That sounds like somebody who's just going to like try to figure it out, do his best, and try to outbox the man. So I don't know where Bomac and Team Crawford is coming from with this knockout business, but let's see it. I mean, Bud said, I'm not going to be running. Cool. Everything that you're saying would equate to a greater fight. But here's the thing, for me, and my reads are usually dead on. When people do too much and when they start like saying stuff that sounds unbelievable, I feel like that's where you have to be weary of it. And you have to look at it as like, all right, there's more than meets the eye. All that's gold is not glitter. And that's what I'm getting here. Something about this fight feels like fans are going to be disappointed, like with the end result. If it even gets to the fight. I have so many doubts about this fight. It just seems like a reach, a fight that really nobody asked for except for Turkey. You know what I mean? Different weight classes. It's like Marvel versus Capcom. Like a person in a suit, Turkey or whoever. Hey, make this and this. I got the money. Yeah. And then you just throw money at it. But that's not That's not how you develop fights, if you will. You know what I mean? Where Canelo didn't even seem interested in the fight for real. He was like, earlier on, he was like, I don't gain nothing from this fight. Why should I take this fight? This is a dumb fight to me, right? So that's how you know it's bad. And again, I know Crawford's willingness to compete and he's a warrior and all that, but I don't know. Something about this fight feels fishy to me. And then when you start making comments that seem like, I think it would be more believable if Crawford is like, I'm about to outbox out of Canelo, because people are like, oh, he's the same size. Bro, height and all that, he's not the same size. There's people like Mikhail Fox at 154 or so, and if he stood next to some of the people in the higher weight classes, maybe he looks bigger too. It's different when you haven't acclimated to the weight class. Like your arms might look the same. It's different. You'll see. You'll see. It's different with the added weight. Canelo has been in this weight class for almost a decade, 8-9 years. He's been above 160. And then again, for me, it would be more reasonable for his team to be like, we're going to lace Canelo's boots, outbox him crazy. You've seen the skull fight. There are many opportunities, but Bud going for a knockout, I mean, again, show me. Show me. I hope he does. I'm weary about it, but I hope Bud does don't run, fight him toe to toe, push for the knock, do all that, because that'll be greater for boxing. See if you could pull a side of Canelo out. But my thing too with the Bud Crawford fight is Bud is there to be hit too. That's why I don't understand if y'all really know boxing. Bud likes to engage. Bud is a person who likes to punish you, right? All that is good in the previous divisions where he's done that at. But can he do that to a bigger person who's not only bigger and likely stronger, but very experienced with a granite chin? So I need to see this. I need to see exactly the stuff that Bud is saying, because anybody could say whatever they want. Mike Tyson, he got the quote, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It sounds good, but when you in front of that, and then like if he hurts you, if Canelo rocks you or something and your legs are gone, let's see you fight toe to toe and do all that no run-in turkey stuff and no Tom and Jerry fight. All that stuff becomes infinitely harder, right? And there's some aspect, I don't know if it's just the Dana White being brought in and the WWE people, but there's an element of this that don't even really feel like boxing for me. And that's unfortunate. It's feeling very scripted. It's feeling very like we got to sell this. It like kind of like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, where it's like we got to do whatever we can to sell the fight. But then the fight itself is disappointing to pretty much most spectators, where Mike Tyson was talking, he was looking in shape. He was looking like, you know what I mean? Like old Mike Tyson. And I'm going to beat him. I want to destroy Jake Paul. He's going to face the wrath of Attila. I'm Attila the Hun, the killer, the blood spiller. Nobody realer, illa, the Sicilia. I've been with the Sicilians. You know what I mean? Doing all this other stuff. And then when it came to fight, Mike Tyson wasn't throwing no punches. He biting his gloves and stuff. And it was very underwhelming. Did great commercially, numbers wise, but underwhelming. And the more theatrics and extras you put on this, the more it makes me not believe it, right? Like, y'all ever meet a chick or something and the way she's throwing it at you too early and you not even really putting no work in? For me, that made me paranoid. Like, either you trying to set me up or you're super promiscuous and easy and you might do this all the time, which is a turnoff to me. You know what I mean? Like if it like this ain't your first rodeo, you always like move fast like this. Like what you just met me and you like throwing a box at me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Show me all this. Knock out Canelo when he got 70 fights and nobody really even wobbling him. He fight Edgar Berlanga, who probably like 210, 215 on fight night. Munguia just failed a PED test and is big. Munguia is definitely bigger than Crawford. But then Crawford, he's just supposed to be the one. Like, I feel like people putting extra on it. Like, people are like, oh, Crawford, he's a unicorn. He could just, it don't matter. We gonna see, bro. We gonna see. That's all I'm gonna say is we gonna see. But Bud, you could say his skills are better than Berlanga. I mean, all that stuff is reasonable. But when we're talking about fighting bigger people, fighting bigger men, it is not just about skills. You're negating your skills when you give up too much weight. Whereas like Berlanga, even though he's not as skilled as Crawford, he might be able to beat Crawford because he's so big. And Crawford, if Crawford can't hurt a Berlanga, right? And if Crawford can't keep a Berlanga off of him or Diego Pacheco, this fight feels fake to me, bro. I'm going to keep saying that because every time I see more and more, it just seems faker and faker. Bud is also talking about, or his team, knocking out Canelo, who again, 67 fights, ain't been knocked out. And he's coming off a year layoff and he hasn't fought since the Madrimov fight where he looked mid and he looked vulnerable at 54 and he's not taking the tune-up. Bro, this seems like a setup where they just want people to tune in and it's a cash out fight. That's what it really feels like to me. Like this is going to be fixed or rigged or scripted. The way they are playing this makes me very doubtful that we're going to get the fight that they're advertising from this. I really believe that because it's too much sketch stuff. Name current fighters in the last 5-10 years that gave up all the weight, didn't move up properly, didn't care about activity. You know, I don't care if I'm on a year layoff by the time the fight happens. I don't care about a rehydration clause. I don't care about moving up 2-3 weight classes. I don't care that he's the A side making more money. I'm still going to knock him out, right? When both guys have a brand and something to lose, right? Name a time where these things existed in the modern boxing and then the person who was smaller was the one that prevailed despite all of it. Jamel Charlo, no. Versus Canelo. Kell Brook versus Triple G, no. Amir Khan, no. You know what I mean? So I do think Crawford is a special talent, but like, cause even let's say Manny Pacquiao, I believe I think God, the Lord, he showed me versus Oscar De La Hoya. When Pacquiao moved up 2 weight classes to fight De La Hoya, the difference was De La Hoya that was his very last fight. He was older and he had been fighting higher weight classes, like when he got knocked out by B-Hop, and he'd been fighting at 54, and then he came all the way down to welterweight again, where he hadn't been. So yeah, prime Pacquiao, moving up 2 weight classes, but De La Hoya surrendered and went down from where he was fighting. I can understand how Pacquiao could beat him. That is not the case here. Crawford is giving up all weight on paper, everything about weight. No rehydration clause, maybe even a smaller ring, and he has to come to the full 168 no catch weight. Then on top of that, he has no fights to test his power higher than 160. Only has 1 fight at 154. No fights at 68. No fights at 60 to show us that he's relevant. Bro, I really believe this is a setup. This is like we're getting Crawford paid type of thing. I'm not saying Crawford's not going to try. I think he'll try, but something about this feels like phony to me because it just seems unrealistic. This is Crawford for the Madrimov fight. He looks absolutely dialed in, jacked, right? He looks like a great physique for a boxer. Now you got to pack on size, go all the way up in weight with no test the waters tune-up fights, and you're not going to look like this. Most likely, you're not going to look like this. You're not going to look as shredded because, and if you do, again, people are going to start questioning that. How do you move up 14 pounds, look the same level of vascular that you were at welterweight, 147, 154, so have the same low body fat, maintain your speed, maintain the same power? All that is harder to do. I could understand for a movie because you're just, all you have to do is get body beautiful, get jacked, and be in the movie and choreograph a fight. So that is cool because it's fake. It's like a movie. You know what I mean? Like Conor McGregor. I'm not your thinking. Who the f is that? Shut your mouth, mate. Shut your mouth. Right? When he did Roadhouse, him and Jake Gyllenhaal, they just had to give brolic. But he's not actually fighting Dustin Poirier or fighting, you know, Alex Pereira at this new weight. You see what I'm saying? That would be like Conor McGregor weighing whatever Alex Pereira was weighing before he moved to heavyweight, when he had light heavyweight or whatever. And then now that they're the same weight, Conor's fighting Alex Pereira. Again, Conor's a great fighter, but just because you bulked up, that don't mean you're going to be dealing with Pereira, Poatan, and he like 6'4" with crazy power, and dudes at the weight class was getting knocked out, like Adesanya and stuff, getting knocked out by him. You know what I mean? It's extremely hard to do. So how is Crawford going to go from this to putting extra poundage of muscle and bulk on him, but then still be the same? Like, what about late in the fight? You're not going to get tired? Like, if you can't hurt Canelo and it's the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th round, how are you going to feel? So it's like, this could be a fight of halves. I think Crawford could do extremely well versus Canelo. I think he could do extremely well. But if he has not made a significant mark like the Errol Spence fight, where he's just like in total control by the 2nd, 4th round, it's going to be a very hard fight from my perspective if there's no funny business, because you could start getting tired. What are you going to do when you're tired and you got a bigger person who's used to fighting bigger people than you and he on your tail? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not a fan of this. And the more like Bomac and people start putting extras on, oh, we going to get the knockout, I think it just sounds like a cartoon to me. Like this is just scripted or something. That's just my honest opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to my channel. Check out StreamYard. Use the link in the description. I got a couple affiliate links. If you want to get your YouTube channel popping, use my affiliate for vidIQ down below. Who wins? Can Crawford actually knock out Canelo fair and square and have it look realistic and not look fixed? Let me know in the comment section. We unpacked. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new. But even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.